Who is the greatest NFL player of all time? Is it the unstoppable quarterback who owned the biggest stage? The wide receiver who made impossible catches look easy? Or the defensive beast who had quarterbacks running for their lives? For decades, NFL fans have argued about one question: who is the real GOAT? Today, we're breaking down the top 10 greatest NFL players of all time based on dominance, championships, records, impact, and pure greatness. Some of these legends changed the game forever. Others made history when the lights were brightest. And trust me, our number one pick might just spark the biggest debate in football history. So grab your favorite jersey, sit back, and let's dive into the greatest NFL legends to ever step onto the gridiron. 10. Lawrence Taylor. Coming in at number 10 is Lawrence Taylor. If you've never watched him play, here's the deal. This guy was an absolute nightmare for quarterbacks. Before Taylor, defensive players mostly reacted to offenses. But LT, he flipped the script. Playing for the New York Giants, he combined unbelievable speed with raw power. Every snap felt like a ticking time bomb for the opposing offense. He wasn't just good, he was built different. Taylor won 2 Super Bowls, earned league MVP honors, and completely changed how NFL teams protected their quarterbacks. In fact, many coaches started redesigning offensive strategies because of one player. That's how dominant he was. No joke. Lawrence Taylor didn't just play football, he changed football. 9. Jerry Rice. At number 9, we have a name that every football fan knows: Jerry Rice. When people talk about the greatest wide receiver ever, the conversation usually ends here. Rice wasn't the fastest player on the field. He wasn't the biggest either. But his work ethic, absolutely legendary. While others were resting during the off-season, Rice was running hills and pushing himself harder than anyone else. That dedication turned him into a record-breaking machine. He finished his career with over 22,000 receiving yards, more than 200 touchdowns, and 3 Super Bowl championships. Those numbers are still mind-blowing. When the pressure was on, Jerry Rice always showed up. That's what being clutch is all about. 8. Reggie White. Taking the number 8 spot is Reggie White. White made offensive linemen look helpless. His signature move, the famous club move, was almost impossible to stop. Quarterbacks knew one thing, famously known as the Minister of Defense. And trust me, that nickname wasn't just for show. Standing over 6 feet tall with incredible strength, if Reggie White was charging toward them, they'd better get rid of the football fast. During his incredible career, he recorded 198 sacks and helped lead the Green Bay Packers to a Super Bowl victory. He dominated games with power, intelligence, and relentless effort. Simply put, he was lights out. 7. Peyton Manning. At number 7, we've got one of the smartest quarterbacks to ever play the game. Peyton Manning. This dude wasn't just throwing touchdowns. He was basically another coach on the field. Before the snap, Peyton could read a defense like an open book. His famous Omaha, Omaha calls became legendary across the NFL. Defenders tried to fool him, but more often than not, he was one step ahead. Over an incredible career, Manning threw 539 touchdown passes, won 5 NFL MVP awards, and captured 2 Super Bowl championships with 2 different franchises. That's rare, really rare. His football IQ was off the charts. When the game was on the line, you wanted number 18 with the ball. Simply put, Peyton Manning was built to win. Or Joe Montana. Coming in at number 6, the man they called Joe Cool. And trust me, nobody stayed calmer under pressure. When the biggest games arrived, Montana got even better. No panic, no fear, just ice in his veins. He led the San Francisco 49ers to 4 Super Bowl titles. And here's the crazy part. He never lost a Super Bowl. Not once. His accuracy, leadership, and clutch performances made him one of football's greatest winners. Back then, if your team was trailing late, you wanted Joe Montana leading the final drive. Because he always gave you a shot. That's why fans still call him one of the most clutch quarterbacks in NFL history. 5. Jim Brown. Breaking into the top 5. Jim Brown. Now here's something that'll blow your mind. He only played 9 seasons. That's it. But those 9 seasons were pure domination. Brown ran over defenders, dragged tacklers, and made impossible runs look routine. He led the league in rushing 8 times, won 3 MVP awards, and retired while he was still the best running back in football. That's almost unheard of. Even today's NFL legends still study his running style. Jim Brown wasn't just ahead of his era. He was in a league of his own. Number 4, Tom Brady. Coming in at number 4. Yeah, some of you probably expected him at number 1. Tom Brady, the guy who was picked 199th overall in the NFL draft. then turned around and became the greatest winner football has ever seen. Talk about proving everyone wrong. Brady wasn't the fastest quarterback. He didn't have the strongest arm either. But when the game was on the line, he was absolutely money. He won an unbelievable 7 Super Bowl championships, more than any NFL franchise has won on its own. Let that sink in. He also earned 5 Super Bowl MVPs, 3 league MVP awards, and finished his career holding nearly every major passing record, down by 2 touchdowns. Brady never looked rattled. He just kept coming. That's why fans called him the comeback king. Love him or hate him, you had to respect greatness. But at 3, Johnny Unitas. At number 3, we have one of the true pioneers of modern football, Johnny Unitas. Long before today's high-powered passing offenses, Unitas changed the game. He proved quarterbacks could win with precision, leadership, and fearless decision-making. His famous crew-cut haircut, black high-top cleats, and calm confidence made him an NFL icon. He won 3 NFL championships, a Super Bowl, and was named league MVP 3 times. Perhaps even more impressive, he threw a touchdown pass in 47 straight games. Back then, people thought that record would never happen. For decades, it didn't, without Johnny Unitas. So Jerry Rice, just missing the number 1 spot. Jerry Rice. And honestly, if you picked Rice as your GOAT, nobody would blame you. He wasn't the fastest receiver. He wasn't the biggest. But nobody worked harder. His legendary off-season hill workouts became the stuff of NFL history. That relentless grind turned him into the greatest wide receiver the game has ever seen. He retired with over 22,000 receiving yards, more than 200 touchdowns, 3 Super Bowl championships, and records that still seem untouchable. When everything was on the line, Jerry Rice always delivered. That's what clutch looks like. Number 1, Jim Thorpe. And finally, our number 1 greatest NFL player of all time, Jim Thorpe. Now this pick might surprise younger fans, but hear us out. Before the NFL became America's biggest sport, there was Jim Thorpe. He wasn't just a football player. He was one of the greatest athletes in human history. Thorpe won Olympic gold medals, dominated professional football, played professional baseball, and even competed in professional basketball. That's insane. He helped shape professional football in its earliest years, and became the league's very first true superstar. Without Jim Thorpe, the NFL might never have become what it is today. His impact goes far beyond statistics. He inspired generations of athletes and helped build the foundation of America's favorite sport. That's why our number 1 sport, the original football legend, Jim Thorpe,